Hey guys, Roger here, Muskrat Adventures, and today I just want to talk a little bit about bait tank filter. So, as cool as the sock idea is, it doesn't work for my bait tank setup because I use a pool filter to filter out the water or my bait. The problem I have with the pool filters is that a normal pool filter has all the paper fins in it, and that those get clogged up quite easily. So what I've done is I've taken items out of my wife's bathroom and created my own filter. So I'll get in a little bit closer here for you and kind of show you. This one here is pretty nasty. It's a little past due. I usually clean them out once a week. I've been running last 2 weeks, so this is 2 weeks worth of gunk. And so what I do is I've used my wife's hair ties. They get a little wore out. Put one on each end. And this is a loofah. If you take a loofah and you tear it apart, stretch it out, it ends up being a big long cloth plastic that you can use as filter material. And every week I pull it out and I simply hose it off. I don't know what you can see yet. You kind of see all that gunk coming out and it turning back to pretty green. And you just hose all the gunk out of it. And I'll also hose off the part of the filter here. Now you can use regular pool filters, and I used to, but when you keep bluegills and things like that in there, they tend to waste a lot. Because you got to feed your bait, and if you plan on keeping your bait for more than a few days, you got to feed it. It's a fish; it'll starve to death if you just put it in your tank and never feed it. It'll just expire on you. So this here, what I've done is I've taken a regular pool filter and I've cut both ends off. So to cut this end off, you can see it's not perfect, but cut all the paper fins off, and then I zip tied the top of it to the cartridge material and made my own cartridge like this. And now all I do is start taking the loofah material and start winding it up, making sure to get both ends covered. I don't wrap mine very tight. I want a good flow of water through there to allow to capture, you know, material waste, food waste, any of that. What I feed my fish is just pond food. You can get a container of pond food. You know, it don't take much. I only end up buying a couple containers a year, if that. You can kind of see you roll it back up here. Get it all on there. Yeah, it got to be perfect. All right, and then once you get back to the ends, grab your wife's hair ties, put one on one end and one on the other. kind of like that. These are a little wore out, so new ones would be I should replace them. These are like a year old. So, but thought I'd share a little bit with you there on how I did my material and did my tank. I'll show you my tank here in just a minute. But with my experience, I've kept bait. I keep bait alive for a long time, usually, depending on the weather. This time of year is a little bit hard on bait because it's so hot. But went out this morning, got some fresh bait. Got some shad and some bluegill and some carp and some other things alive. Heading to the river tomorrow with Betty Jean Cross and Brandon Cross. So wanted to put them in a clean tank. So tank was due for a water change and filter cleaning. So that's what we're going to do. And I'll show you the tank here in a second. All right, guys. So here's the bait tank setup I'm running. Nothing fancy. It's just an old plastic tote. You pick these things up, fairly cheap. I got this one given to me, so that's real cheap. You can see the water coming in there. Puts up a lot of oxygen. I have an air stone in here anyway. You can see there's some bait down in there. I didn't have a whole lot. About 20 pieces. I'm going to add about 60 or more pieces of bait to it. And so here's the filter that we cleaned a minute ago. So I put that filter back inside, got it hooked back up, and ran to the tank. So I did cut a hole through the bottom of the tank to run the plumbing through. You have to have a shut-off valve in order to do the cleaning for the filtration. Otherwise it'll just flood out once you take the top off. Okay. Also I'm running some salt. Now when I'm running bluegills and whatnot in here, I don't really put much salt. I know I'm getting ready to put shad in, so I did put a few cups of salt in because I'm going to run about 200 gallons of water in here. Another thing that I do, here, let me shut this off so you can hear me. Another thing that I do is I got these activated carbon bags. The activated carbon absorbs the ammonia that's released from the fish as they have waste and whatnot in the water, or if you have a fish die in the water and releases a lot of ammonia, which will harm the fish pretty quick. So this bag right here absorbs the ammonia and keeps the fish healthy. I buy it in big bags of bulk because I have an aquarium in the house that I also use it in. But I have bought these small ones here. You can get these at Walmart and they work fine. These here work fine. You know, you can just make you up a little bag. You could buy those bags like this here. So I'll pull one out. Get these online. These are just little mesh bags with a zipper. Let's see. Yep, there we go. With a zipper, and I just dump them in there. Main thing to remember once you put carbon into a bag before you ever add it to your fish is you got to hose it out really well until the water comes clear, because it'll be black coming out at first, which is too much, and you just keep water running on it till it's clear. Once it's clear, it's good to go. The reason my water is blue, I've used this container so many times, there's no label. This is Better Bait, made by Sure Life. I recommend if you have a local bait shop that uses this stuff, they order it in big quantities, and if you're nice to them, they will let you fill yours up much cheaper than what you can buy it online, which is what I've done. I won't give you my source because I'm not silly. Just kidding. And the other thing here is pond pellets. I also have shrimp food that my fish in the house didn't like, but pond pellets work fine. You have to feed your fish. You don't feed them, they'll die. They're fish, living animals, so they got to eat. And when they eat, they poop, and when they poop, we got to clean it, and when we clean it, you know the cycle. So that's what we're working with. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below and or send me a message, a private message or whatever, if you don't want to leave a message, or if you have a question directly. Outside of that, I'm getting ready to get my bait in the tank, get it all set up and ready to go, and hit the river in the morning. I'm excited. My boat hasn't been on the river, as you guys know, since April. So I took it out today, ran it around a little bit, had to adjust throttle cables and things like that. Once I moved everything's kind of a little out of whack. But she's running good. She's ready to go. You can probably see it in the background over there. We'll do a walkthrough here soon, but ready to hit the river. Fish on.